can I walk down the path least trodden, which is sometimes the scariest place to go, but with a soft, loving persistence, the path, little by little, becomes more and more lit with the soft, loving light of our hearts, until the darkness becomes my best friend and I can see the truth, and that the light was in fact there all along. I am light, I am love, and I am perfect. And this video is dedicated to all of us who haven't continued to suffer the inner voice. This video is a soft talk about suicide. There is another way out of the pain. With love. Unconditional love for me. Let your light guide you home. Hey guys, namaskar. Hola. So, it's been a little while since making a video. For many reasons. And yeah, I feel like even right now I'm trying to find words, which is kind of strange for me really, because I feel like I always talk too much. But I always want to keep these videos as real as I can make them, as honest as I can make them without editing things out, and which I haven't done yet. I'd like to think that I won't. And I know they're not overly exciting, except for this picture. It's very beautiful. Hello, picture of these plants, these leaves. I think 4 months ago, I think was when I made my last video, maybe 3-4 months ago. It was a long time ago. And I've been wanting to talk about suicide. That was the last thing that I wanted to talk about. Because that's where I find myself a little bit these days within the spectrum of supporting people that have become widowed to suicide. And that's the right way of saying it. And or by the expression of suicide. And I realized that I can't talk about it, I think, in the way that I was, slightly arrogantly thinking that I could, because I don't have the vocabulary, I don't have the resources to be able to talk about it, because I've not experienced it. So it doesn't feel like it's something that I can really share from my perspective in an appropriate way. That's going to make someone feel calm. It's not going to spark them off into a journey of discomfort, a little bit more than maybe is necessary. I know that we need to talk about these things more frequently with a lot more openness. Because the reason that I've come to it is because I have the relationship of wanting to do it. Well, not still wanting to do it, but wanting to do it. I wanted to do it in the past. For all of the manifested reasons that generally create that sense in us to want to do it. So I feel that I can maybe support and talk about it in a way that's understandable for somebody that's playing with the thoughts that arise, right? And I can be there as a support to somebody that has lost someone, for sure. I can sit and just be in that space and hear, listen, see you, love you, and just be in that expression of that emotion that just wants to come out of the body from this just overwhelming sense of what the fuck just happened-ness. And but I realize that I don't have I don't have the resources to really, I think, talk about it properly. So, as far as anybody that plays with the idea of it, really ask yourself why. It's a heavy subject and it's a heavy thing for people to hear. It makes us feel, it makes us come into the sense of, oh my God, I don't want to hear it, especially if we never thought about it. It's the last thing we want to be involved in. I don't want to go into this dark space. But at some point in our lives, I think we all get to a dark space. Unless we've come into this world because we've just worked and worked and worked for our stuff, you know. Whether you believe in that stuff or not, I don't know. But it's intense. And the more you can become the observer, the witness to the fact that you're not choosing to think the things you're thinking, that you're just thoughting, as my wife lovingly says it. It made so much sense, you know, because I'm having these thoughts that are coming up. They're just like clouds. They're like the river passing, the leaves that float down this river. You know, my thoughts, they come and come and come and come and come and come. And the only time I'm actually thinking is when I'm using my thought processes to get to an outcome. Because I want to do something to have that outcome. So I have to analyze, I have to work out, I have to take a path. But more than not, we're just thoughting as the days go on. As our day, moment, minutes, seconds, our present moment exists. We just go through these thought processes without realizing that it's actually happening. Until you realize that it's happening. And when you realize it's happening, it's a liberation. And things start to change. Once you realize that you're just thoughting all day long, you can then start to observe what kind of thoughts you're having. If you wish to do that, or you can just keep coming with your breath and just be like, this is intense. Okay, great. Because our thought processes, thanks to our glands and our nervous system and trauma, can influence them to over-secrete and under-secrete hormones, which is where our emotional body sits. So if we've got a shaky system, then we're going to have a lot of thoughts. Shaky thoughts, unnerving thoughts, uncomfortable thoughts, processes that just don't feel good to be thinking about. So why are we in a rush? Why are we in a rush to stop the discomfort? Can't we just sit and relax into it? It's what I'm learning right now. Can I sit and relax into anything and everything that presents itself to me in my present moment? In my body, I still get this sense that there's challenges on their way, you know, but I feel like I've got to this point where I'm like, okay, I could happily, comfortably be here now for a while. But I get this sense that it's not it. You know, I don't know if it's still an illusion to get this sense that we are arriving to something, right? Because when I arrive there, it's still going to be now. It's still going to be the present moment, which is really absolutely beautiful. But we do have to go through these processes. We have to go through, whether you want to call it the hero's journey, trial by fire, you got to throw yourself off the cliff. In a what's the word? In a sense, not in a literal sense. Even though we do that, we know we've had enough that it makes sense that I throw myself off a cliff. Why do you want to throw yourself off a cliff? Don't throw yourself off a cliff. It's just mad. You don't need to throw yourself off a cliff. So, talk to anyone and everyone that you can, that you're feeling something. And if it makes them uncomfortable, that's not on you, that's on them. I need to talk to you because I'm having these thoughts that are freaking uncomfortable. I'm not feeling good. I need support. I need help. How do I do it? Ask for that person to arrive to your life. I need someone almighty, supreme energy, whatever you are, that creates the stars, that creates space, even though space is nothing, but it's made of everything, and it creates everything that we are, that's inside me and outside of me. I wish to ask for the right person to come to my life that's going to give me the keys, or a key, that's going to lead me through the next door, that's going to give me the next person and the next key, and so forth. As I go back into the darkness, or I go into the discomfort, I go into the things that are making me think, or making me thought, why I don't wish to be in existence anymore. And once I really realize that it's okay to go to that discomfort, because if we go into it, truly, if we go into it with a lot of patience, a lot of love, a lot of support, and a lot of energy of, I am going to be okay, eventually, all that happens, the consequence of going towards that darkness, is that it gets lighter. The body liberates energy, and it doesn't feel so heavy and stagnant anymore. It's really quite fascinating. I'm addicted to this fascination of, I'm in a body that you could say that I work just the same as an ant or a bird or a squirrel, a dog, a fish, a giraffe, an elephant, a microbe, the bacteria in my intestines. We all share the same innate intelligence. It's kind of cool. So, can I use that intelligence, become aware of that intelligence that's making me become aware? That's making me become aware. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but that's how it's coming out. It's coming out my mouth. Can I go step by step, one step into that discomfort? Let the body express what it needs to express, fully accept what's there, what's happening. And I see you, I see it, I love you. You're going to be okay. Keep telling yourself that. I wanted to say something, but nothing came out. I feel these days that I need to have a lot of lightheartedness around a lot of this work. Not to belittle or to make anybody feel bad that they're in despair, but to bring lightness to my life, because I've constantly throughout my own personal journey belittled my own sense of feelings because I was afraid that it was going to belittle somebody else's because I felt okay. So by me feeling okay, I ended up making myself not okay. If that makes sense. I was constantly trying to please everybody else, everything else in this life, in my external environment, so that I didn't get beat up anymore, which obviously is then happening in my internal environment. The external influences my internal environment, but my internal environment is where I experience life. And then when I'm experiencing, or what I'm experiencing internally, if it's comforted or discomforted, will express itself in my experience externally. It's kind of crazy, but it's true. To me, it now feels like I know that to be true. It's not a belief anymore. It's not a question mark. So I feel like belief can be a question mark. Do you know it? If you know a belief to be true, then it's true. Perfect. Beautiful. There's no argument. I don't want to argue. I don't need to argue. What I believe to be true is completely different to what somebody else believes to be true. But you have to go in and ask yourself the questions. Why do I believe what I believe? Where did it come from in the first place? Is it really my belief from the first place? And if you've studied and studied and studied yourself and studied yourself some more and studied yourself just a little bit more, and then you've been like, okay, let's have a look. Let's read all these books that explain what I'm studying in myself. And then you read those and they make sense. But then you still have questions. Keep asking questions. I'm never going to stop asking questions. For whatever crazy reason, my life has been about asking questions. And I'm very happy now for that, because it's given me so much wonder, mystical joy and beauty. And it's given me this, what we've been lovingly calling this spiritual path that we're all walking. Depends on how much intention you're putting into it, I suppose. Depends on how you have a relationship to it, to yourself, to self, to it, to the big I, which is one with everybody and everything. It's really quite beautiful. So that was my video on suicide. Reach out, send me a message, drop me a comment, share this video on with someone else. Find the helplines, find the person, the resources that work for you. Keep doing it. Life is overwhelmingly beautiful. Hormones are telling you that it's not beautiful. Something that happened maybe in your life, during the course of your life, that has convinced you to make you believe that you're not worth it. I'm not worth it because I don't have the right amount of money. I'm not worth it because I don't know how to cook dinner for my wife and my kids and my husband or my whatever. I'm not worth it because I don't make my bed. I'm not worth it because I don't wash the dishes. I'm not worth it because I leave my clothes on the floor, and I've done that all my life. I'm not worth it because I crashed the car. Doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Step out of it, look at it. Be the one back here looking at yourself from behind as if you're looking at a cinema screen. Feel your physical body. There's a physical body here. There's something inside that allows you to become aware of it. Your awareness. They say consciousness. I have no idea anymore what any of this stuff is. But it's something. In the sense of nothingness. And we're all still discovering it, little by little. So, hopefully this was partially insightful and supported something that's going to make you go, yes, it's okay. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Don't stop meditating. Don't stop asking questions. Let's do some talk therapy. Talk therapy is incredible. You can do it with yourself or do it with someone that knows what they're doing, partially. And find a therapist or somebody that just makes sense. But talk to everybody about it. Don't sit in silence. Sitting in silence, mulling and getting trapped in the thought processes is a very scary and very dangerous place to be in. If you're not aware that you're not choosing to think the things that are happening in your minds, they're just happenings. Okay? Please take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Still working on that deeply. It's feeling good. I'm starting to know things about myself now to be true. That are my truths now. And it's empowering. And it makes me feel beautiful. It makes me realize I'm an amazing husband. I'm an amazing friend. I'm an amazing artist. I'm an amazing musician. I'm an amazing everything. I know that I'm all of those things within my own ability. Doesn't mean I play guitar like Prince. Jesus, if I did, I'd be like, phew, out there in the universe, exploding out there with God. I know I can surf. I know I love the ocean. I know I love to look at the stars. What do you know about yourself to be true? What do you believe to be true about you? A belief, generally, more than not, might not be your belief from the beginning. Check it out. Scope it out. Ask the questions. Then come into alignment with knowing what you are, what you love, what you know you enjoy, and how do you want to live the rest of your life. Everything to the best of my ability. Knowing that I'm awesome to the best of my ability. Not taking anything away from anyone else, belittling, or doing anything of that sort. I, as an individual, is you as an individual. We are one, we are I, we are we are you, we are he, she, it, us. Let's just stop labeling, let's just all see ourselves as the same. And then war stops. Judgments stop. Killing stops. Hate crimes stop. Because we're not separate anymore. I'm not calling you that because it doesn't fit into a box. Stop calling each other things. Let's just be us. And it's going to be okay. It's really quite simple. Extraordinarily complexly simple. With much love, namaskar, and have a beautiful rest of your morning, day, evening, night. Can I build a home? Can I see a beautiful flower? Can I be okay with my work? Can I be so overwhelmed and happy and in love with my family, with what I have? And it's all encompassing beauty and craziness, all the adventures, all the wild moments, all the peace and the reminders that are in every moment, every beautiful sunset, to lay and look at the stars and drift out into space, where one day I shall return when the time is right.